This is part 8 on my sister was unalived with the man that she met 3 weeks ago. So in the previous video, I said that I was going to talk about the church, but then it just got too deep and I got totally off topic. But a lot of people in the comments are saying, if you had a good church home and all this other stuff. One, I don't know why people think I'm not in church. If you have looked at my page, my life is God and Christ is my everything. I do nothing without him. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like the only way that I made it through this entire tragic situation was knowing that to be absent with the body is to be present with the Lord. And me and my sister were baptized together. And so I know that she made her way to heaven. But let's talk about the church. We both were members of this church. I'm calling them out. Zion Baptist Church in Reading, PA. We were members of that church. We were baptized together August 1st, 1999. Our foster mom, because that's a whole nother thing. I'll eventually get into it because we went to foster care. But our foster mom was big into church, and that was the church that she was a part of. So we got baptized there, and we went to that church for years. Now, as a lot of you know, sometimes you move away and you move to different cities and different states, but that's always your church home. So, and a lot of you know, like in Black churches, when you come home, they ask you to stand and you say, this is my church home, but, I'm bringing you greetings from, and then you state your new church home and yada, yada, yada. Okay. So not only that, what also is crazy is in churches, you cannot be a member there and you can get married there. They rent out the hall when it's the people in the sick and shut in list, when they pass away, they have their funerals there, even though they haven't been to church in years, all of these different things. But let me tell you what they did to me. So, my sister was unalived, and what's the first thing you do and first people you lean on? Your family and your church family. I went to church. I paid my tithes and offering every Sunday, took my son to church, dressed him in the best of the best, showed up, was on time for years. So when my sister was unalived, the first thing I thought of was call my church, because I could do, her, even if I didn't do her funeral there, I could at least do her repast, because my family has a great relationship with the funeral home that I buried her at. So I was like, okay, even if I use the regular funeral home, at least I could do the repast here, right? So I calls down to the church. I don't get no answer at first, so I leave multiple messages, right? So I'm leaving messages, I'm calling multiple times in a day because, I'm planning everything. I'm trying to get everything set. And this is simply to do the repast, because at this point I already have the funeral planned out, but I wanted to do the repast and have a place that, family and friends and, we could gather and sharing memories and all these different things. So I'm calling. So day 1, nobody calls back. So day 2, I call, leave multiple messages, nobody calls back. So at this point, I have certain members of the church contact. So I reach out to, and I don't even know if they even deserve grace for me to even put their names out there. So I won't do that. But I reached out to one of the deacon and the deaconesses that I was close to, like the closest to, like literally knew them almost my entire life. Reached out to them, left a message with the husband, didn't hear nothing back, but I called the wife. So, called her up on the phone and basically just let her know that I was looking forward to using the church's basement, so that, now mind you, they have all kind of events there, all kind of knitting services, outside services, people's wedding receptions. Mind you, people that don't even go to church. I know people who have got married at Zion Baptist Church and were not members of the church. But okay, that's neither here nor there. So, just let them know, like, hey, I'm looking to use the basement of the church. I don't need anything additional. If there's a fee, I'll pay the fee, whatever it is. Or if you're not looking for a fee because I'm a member, I'm still going to I would love to give the church a donation for just allowing me to use the space. So the first thing she said was something like the hospitality crew isn't available for that day or something. So I'm saying to myself, well, I don't need the services of the hospitality crew. Like, I just need to use the space, in which people have done kids' birthday parties there as well. Let's be clear. So the hospitality crew isn't doing Ray Ray's second birthday party. Okay. So that was the first excuse. So then I came back and I'm just like, I don't need the hospitality crew. Like, my family is willing to come in and help me, and we do the food and everything. We literally just need the space. That is it. Do you know that they tried to tell me, mind you, no one from the church called me to even ask me how I was doing, if I needed anything, Lord, to even give sis a prayer. Nobody called and checked for me. Meaning, this is a place that I go to every Sunday, that I pay my tithes to, that I am in prayer with, that I show up for, like my church home, as in I was a grown adult and been going to this church since I was like 9. No one called me. No one called to check on me. No one sent condolences, not a flower, not a card, nothing. So then I was told that because she moved away, technically she wasn't a member of the church, so I can't have her repast there. When then the reality was, because people at the church talk. So it got back to me. The reality was, the church didn't like the manner in how she passed away. And so because they didn't like the manner in how she passed away, they refused to allow me to have the repast at the church. So people who aren't members of the church can get married there. All of these other activities and things like that can go on. But my own church home, who I loved and trusted, did not allow me to do my sister's repast, not even the funeral. But they would not allow me. Zion Baptist Church in Reading, Pennsylvania, would not allow me to do my sister's repast at their church, which was my church, I should say, because they did not like the manner in the way that my sister was unalived. And so after the last phone call where I said that I didn't need the hospitality crew to assist with the repast, they just stopped answering my calls altogether. They did not return any calls. They didn't pick up the phone for me. They didn't check for me. They didn't ask, okay, well, did you still want to do this? No one called. No one called. So that's how I know it's true. Because if I asked you more than once and then you just flat out don't return the call, clearly it was true. But I will say this. Pastor Edlow, who was our pastor, or Reverend Edlow now, who was our pastor when we were children, drove up from Philly. Him and his wife is now on the other side in heaven. God rest her soul. I am so grateful for them, because they came from out of town, would not take my money that I offered them to do my sister's services, did the services, and it was absolutely beautiful. In the end, everybody went out to eat at a restaurant, and we gathered at the restaurant, and that was all that I was able to do because it was so last minute. I'll be